Hello, this is Karen. Thanks so much for joining today. We are going to move through a super gentle and easy practice today, focused on the fourth chakra, the heart chakra. So we're going to start, I would have a bolster or a towel that you can roll up. And we're going to start by rolling that up lengthwise so we can scoot ourselves right up to the edge of it and lying down on our backs. So lying down and just stretching out over your towel or bolster. Bringing the soles of the feet together. And bring the arms out. And starting to settle down into the mat. And taking some big breaths in and out through the nose here. And feeling yourself starting to settle, starting to surrender and release down towards the floor underneath you. Feeling your spine start to settle. And the arms can be, for now, like goalpost arms, just bent at the elbows. And giving yourself a nice long moment here to just settle. And letting the world around you just start to drift away. Feeling that the back of the body can start to melt into the floor underneath you. And letting go our busy doing. And taking some time to just rest into being. Allowing ourselves to settle and to rest. And check out how you're feeling here. If you want to make any adjustments, if there's any discomfort in your lower back, maybe you want to take the feet out and the knees together instead and let the knees rest together. Maybe experimenting with the arms, maybe the arms more up towards top, or maybe letting the arms rest down by your sides, feeling the shoulder blades glide down and back. Or another option, bringing the right hand to lower belly, the left hand to the heart, letting your hands rest on the body as you breathe. And so just settling into whatever variation feels good. Feeling into, for a moment, your palms. And taking a breath in through the nose. Breathing out of the mouth. Just allowing yourself to settle a little bit more deeply. Taking another breath in and out of the mouth. And then starting to bring your awareness to the space of the heart. So in this position, the heart is slightly higher than the rest of the body. Bringing yourself into that awareness of putting your heart first, placing your heart higher. Perhaps even imagine offering your heart up like on a throne. Moving into the space of deep rest, letting go the busyness, the doingness, moving into the ease of the heart space, putting the heart first, allowing everything to soften around the heart, the rib cage, space around the lungs. Feeling the back of the body, the spine getting heavier and relaxed, letting go of the legs and the hands and staying with your awareness focused on the space of the heart. And feeling as you breathe in, your torso expanding, opening. And as you exhale, feeling the back of the body settle, feeling that slight contraction in. Take 2 more long, slow breaths. And just letting the heart be primary for now. And then wiggling the fingers or the toes. And very gently using your elbows underneath you to prop yourself up. Coming up, and we'll turn over to lie down on the belly here. And then maybe opening up the towel or the blanket. We're going to lie down on the belly and again bring that right arm like a goalpost out to the side. Allowing ourselves to stretch open through the deltoid. So this muscle through here, through the front, allowing that muscle to stretch open as we settle ourselves down. And the arm out. And using your left hand to just prop yourself up and just roll yourself over that shoulder just until you feel a nice easy stretch there. And you don't want too much stretch so that you're bracing yourself, but enough stretch that you can ease your way in, start to soften your way in. You can experiment with the placement of the legs, either keeping them slightly bent or extending the left leg. If
If you want a little bit more, bring in that left foot on the ground behind you, rotating open more. But if that's too much, just finding a place where you can soften into that nice opening and stretch. Continuing to breathe in and out through the nose. And sending yourself some compassion here, just letting the subtle stretch be enough, not feeling that you need to do more, achieve more, or really crank yourself into any position, but just allowing for this nice subtle opening here through the deltoid. Allowing for the breath to easily flow in and out through the nose. And take another big breath in. Slow breath out. And then use your left hand to very gently push yourself up. And before we do the other side, coming into a seated pose. Just cupping your hands and giving yourself a moment to really feel into the difference maybe now in between those two shoulders. Just feeling that spaciousness that you may have created. Taking some long, slow breaths as you sit. And then starting to drop into the space of intention here. And dropping into that fourth chakra energy of compassion and self-love. And maybe bringing to mind somewhere in your life some relationship, some project, some task at hand that you can bring a little bit of that lightness and ease. And that softer, more compassionate space. And then coming down to the other side, I'm just going to move my blanket to the front of the mat. Feel free to just stay where you are, just so I can be facing you this side. So this time bringing the left arm out like a goalpost, bringing the arm down into the ground, lying down on your side, and using your right hand to prop yourself up until you feel that nice stretch, that opening through the deltoid. And that might be enough to stay right there. If you want a little bit more, you can straighten the legs. And again, bring that right foot behind you, creating a little bit more stretch there. But the key here is not to do too much, but to really allow for the subtlety of that stretch. Just really letting it be enough, exactly as it is. And letting it be gentle and soft, and letting yourself just soften into the space that you're creating.
And breathing in. And breathing out. And sending yourself again that compassion if you start to feel like it isn't quite enough. Letting it be subtle, letting it be enough, knowing that you're still getting the benefit of that nice stretch without needing any huge, intense sensation. Letting yourself soften into the stretch that's there. And breathing in and out a couple more breaths. Good, and then using your right hand to very gently press yourself up. And setting your blanket off to the side. And coming into a wide leg downward dog. Just spreading your fingers wide, maybe rotating the fingers slightly out, 45 degrees. And then sending the feet wide, lifting the hips up. And downward facing dog. Play here a moment, dropping one heel and then the other. Letting the shoulders glide down the back. And just feeling into the stretch here, knees bent, or allowing the knees to start to straighten. As you feel that nice length through the back of the heart, and letting the neck soften. And taking a few long, slow, deep breaths here. Trying to feel the heart shining forward as the back body lengthens and the hips rise up as the heels start to drop down towards the ground. And then bringing the feet more hip width here. And slowly walking in the feet and the hands towards each other. And reaching to grab for opposite elbows. Allowing yourself to hang down for a moment. And maybe moving side to side here. Experimenting with straightening and then bending the knees. And breathing, nice, slow, easy breaths here. And on your next inhale, bring the arms, the hands up to inhale, halfway lift through your spine. As you exhale, sweep the arms, hands down the back of the legs. Inhale, halfway lift the spine, lengthen, shine the heart forward. And exhale, melt. Hands down the back of the legs. Inhale, halfway lift. Shine the heart forward. Exhale, melt down. Then place the hands
out in front of you. Walk your feet out to the outer edges of your mat. And moving into our squat, Malasana. So if it's working for you to come all the way down with the heels on the ground, great. You might need the support of your hands out in front of you, or if that's too much, you can stay up a little bit on your toes as an option, or maybe just coming up and placing the hands on the knees in this wide horsewoman stance. Either way, finding that nice deep engagement as you stay low down through the hips, lengthen down through the tailbone. And thinking about this pose more as an expansion of the heart upwards. So squeezing the thighs into the elbows, pressing the elbows back towards the thighs. And imagining launching your heart up and out. And feeling that expansion through the chest. Letting the shoulders glide down and back. Pulling the abdominal muscles up and in, feeling the tailbone lengthen down and back. Take another big breath, feel your heart shining forward. And then release your hands down to the ground. Step your feet back, downward facing dog. Take a couple deep breaths here, feeling your heels press down towards the ground. And then you can bend or straighten the legs here. Just finding a position. You're maintaining that nice length through the back of your body. And then walk your hands, one hand length forward towards your feet. So creating more of this mini downward facing dog, feeling that the heels can now press down, a little bit more intense stretch through the back of the hamstrings, back of the legs, and it's fine if you need to bend the knees a little bit. Might experiment with bringing the toes off the mat so you really feel the heels pressing down, feel that nice big stretch through the back of the legs. And then from here, we're going to bring your left hand and reach around and grab the outside of your right leg so that you're spiraling your chest through and creating that big stretch in the shoulder blade here. Really strong through the right hand, spiraling the chest through so you're creating that nice stretch in the left shoulder blade. And then release, and we'll switch hands. Left hand on the ground, bring your right hand to the outer edge of your left leg. Back on your calf, and spiral again the chest through. Feeling that nice big stretch through the shoulder. Breathing in. Breathing out. And then release, come back to your regular downward facing dog. And then inhaling, coming forward into your strong plank. Really firing up through the abdominals, firing up through the legs, through the thighs, pressing into the balls of the feet, finding our strength here in plank, lifting the abdominals up towards the back body, feeling the core of the body heating up, firing up, pressing into the feet so you feel the legs nice and strong and engaged. Continuing to breathe, really feeling into your strength here. A couple more breaths.
Good, and then lowering down. So come down to the knees, lower chin and chest. And come on to the belly. And spread your fingers, your hands out wide. Spreading the fingers wide. Lengthening first through the spine, feeling the length through the tailbone, down and back, feet on the ground. Starting to rotate and press the pinky edge of the feet into the mat. Coming into our low cobra. Inhale and lengthen and just come up a little ways here. So if you're imagining your full expression of cobra, this is about a third of your expression, just enough that you start to feel that sensation in the back strengthening. Drawing the shoulders down and back with those nice wide hands, starting to spiral the elbows forward. Breathing here is really activating through the back body, strengthening through the back. And release, come down. Take a breath. And let's do it again. Inhale, really lengthen through the crown of the body, start to come up. And if you like, you can experiment with bringing the hands in a bit more, if you like, or keeping them wide. And again, spiraling the elbows forward, drawing the shoulders down the back, pressing the pinky toe into the mat behind you, really activating the back muscles. You can feel your heart starting to shine forward here. Still not at your full strength, enough that you can sustain this pose, feel into the strength of yourself in the pose. And feeling your heart shining forward as you lift up. And releasing, come down. Then take a breath, preparing for our third cobra. Adjusting the hands if you need to, if you'd like them closer together. Take an inhale breath, lengthen, and lift up. Becoming closer to your full expression here in Cobra. Continue to lengthen your tailbone down and pull your lower belly up and in here, supporting this backward bend. You can keep the hands where they are, or if you'd like to bring the arms out to the side. Feeling all that space around your heart, all that strength supporting your heart to shine forward. And release. Good, come down. Press your hands into the ground. Send your hips all the way back, child's pose. And now just allowing all the muscles in the back to soften, to breathe, to expand. Finding a position for the arms, maybe elbows bend. And allowing the shoulders to stay really down the back. Or perhaps letting the arms just relax down by your sides. And allow yourself to soften here again. Feel the muscles around the spine relax and surrender to gravity for a moment. Surrendering into the rest that
comes after the exertion of effort, allowing yourself to soften. And breathing out. And coming up onto hands and knees. And first finding some nice length through your spine, nice neutral through the tailbone, all the way through the crown of the head. And inhaling into an arched spine, lifting up, shining the heart forward. And exhale, pulling the belly in to round the spine, tucking the chin into the chest. Inhaling to arch the spine. Exhale, round the spine. You can experiment with using your hands here. As you inhale, press the heels of the hands in towards the knees. Feel that energy through the chest as you do that. Expanding. And exhale, press the hands forward towards the top of the mat. Feel all that space through the back. 2 more. With your breath. And then from here, coming back into a neutral spine. And then just walking your hands forward into puppy pose. So the seat stays high up over the knees rather than like in child's pose. And let your heart just melt down towards the mat. Feeling that nice stretch underneath the arms. Continue to pull your belly up and in and away from the mat, and at the same time, press your palms down into the floor. So you feel that nice stretch underneath the shoulders. Feeling into that space around the heart, let it soften. Breathing in and breathing out. And just noticing what you notice. Staying soft. And then walking the hands back in and coming up, downward facing dog. Sending the hips up. The heels down towards the mat. Take a deep breath. And then again, start to walk the feet forward and the hands towards the feet. And softening to relax down towards the ground. Bending the knees if you need to just rest your belly on your thighs. And soften the head, the neck, the jaw. On your next inhale, halfway lift, drawing the hands up the thighs. Exhale and fold, release, melt. Inhale, lift.
Shine the heart forward. Exhale, soften.
And one more inhale.
Lift. Exhale, melt.
Release the hands down, open the feet wide. And send the hips down again. Squat, Malasana, or take your variation. Bringing, if you can, the hands together. And pressing again the elbows into the thighs into the elbows. Feel length of your tailbone. Pull your belly up and in and send the heart up. Imagine this rocket launching through your torso and your heart. Keeping your foundation through the feet, through the hips as the chest lifts up. And then find your breath. Release the hands, bring the hands back behind you, and just sit down. And bring your feet out in front of you. Send your arms forward, and engage your core as you slowly roll your way all the way down. And preparing for our bridge pose. Start to walk your heels in towards your hips. Feel your lower back just resting flush on the ground. Press your feet into the ground, take an inhale breath, and lift your hips up. And you can stay here or walk one shoulder at a time underneath. So bring your right shoulder underneath, then the left, to clasp your hands underneath you. And lift your hips up towards the sky. Imagine you've got a block in between your thighs and really squeeze the block. Continuing to press down through the feet, keeping the legs active. Lift the hips up. And then exhale, slowly lower all the way down. Release the shoulders from underneath you. And let the knees just fall into one another. Bring your right hand to your low belly, left hand to your heart. Take a couple breaths here. And perhaps hearing your heartbeat underneath your hand. And letting yourself be drawn into a place of quiet, to a place of stillness and of rest within the heart space. Letting go all of the busy doing, coming into a space of being and of rest. Preparing for our second bridge pose, bringing the hands down again, opening the knees hip width, pressing the feet down into the ground. Exhale the air out. And inhale, press the hips up. Walk the shoulder blades underneath you. Clasp the hands. Squeeze the thighs, squeeze the seat. Feel that big expansion of your chest. Again, offering your heart upwards towards the sky. Letting your heart be primary. Letting your heart be high. And then slowly coming down. Bring the shoulders out from underneath you. Again, letting your knees rest together. And drop in again to the quiet space. Take a few breaths. And if you're ready to take your Shavasana, you can go ahead and extend your legs out in front of you. If you feel like you're craving a forward fold or another posture to end your practice, you can go ahead and use your elbows to press yourself up. Bring the feet, soles together. And taking a forward fold here, to Baddha Konasana with the feet together. Taking an inhale breath. And exhaling, letting yourself just fold forward. Relaxing your forehead down towards your toes. Breathing slow and easy as you relax your head and your neck. Let everything soften down towards the ground. Breathing in, and breathing out. And slowly inhale, come back up. And bring your feet out in front of you. Stretch your arms out in front of you and roll all the way down. Shavasana. If you still have that blanket nearby, you could grab that and place it underneath your knees since you've got it. A nice little prop for underneath the knees. And relaxing yourself down to completely rest now in Shavasana. And let your feet relax, the knees relax. Soften into the hips, feel deeply all the way into both of your hip sockets. And feel the hips from the sockets relax and release. And soften through the lower belly and the lower back. And And soften the space of your torso, feeling into all of the space that you created around the space of the heart. Feeling your heart held in between the front and the back of the body, sides of the body. Feeling deep into the sockets of the shoulders and letting the shoulders relax and settle down into the ground all the way down through the arms and the elbows, the hands, letting the fingers soften, release. Softening through the neck and shoulders, back of the head. Letting the face and the jaw relax, the forehead soften. Top of the head relax. And feel for a moment that you're contained within the space of your whole body. And your whole body can soften and relax. And breathing some lightness, some energy, some light into the space of the heart. Taking a moment to attune to the quality of love within your heart, feeling that quality radiate through the space of the heart, maybe radiate through the space of your whole body for a moment. And drawing to mind your intention from the beginning of class. Visualize yourself sending that loving energy, that compassion into some area of your life that needs attention, a relationship, project, task or set of tasks. And see yourself soften into that space. And bringing very gently awareness back into your fingertips and your toes. Hugging one knee into your chest and then the other. And giving yourself a little squeeze. And rolling over onto your right side, supporting yourself for a moment in this fetal position with your cheek on your arm, taking a full breath here. And then pressing yourself up with your left hand, taking a moment to close our practice in seated.
Bringing your hands in, rubbing your hands together for a moment. Feeling into your physical body, your physical presence, and bringing your hands into your heart center. Gently bowing your chin to chest. Take a moment to touch into a moment of gratitude, a feeling of gratitude for yourself, for your practice. We're taking this time to settle into being, to settle into a space of rest that will recharge, re-energize, rejuvenate all of your doing. Deep breath. Thank you so much for joining, sending such gratitude to you. Have a beautiful rest of your day. Namaste.